Hi, Rich. Welcome back. Happy to see you. How are you?
Hey Jennifer, I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. How has everything been since the last time I saw you?
It's been okay.
Okay. Why
Yes,
just okay?
teenagers suck.
Teenagers? Okay. So I sense that something with your son.
Yeah, I feel bad for the kid because he's doing all this online schooling and he's missing out on his senior year, and I get that. But he just doesn't like his teacher in English and decided to just he'll show her and not do any of his assignments.
Oh, okay.
And he has all A's and an F.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
just didn't do
So,
anything. And when I brought it up to him, he got mad at me because he's like, "Why are you checking in on me?" Like, because I'm your freaking dad. That's why.
yeah. So it's almost like his responsibilities, of course, fall on you if he's not taking care of his responsibilities.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, that's exactly how it feels.
Yeah. So how are you handling that? How, so this was a situation that happened. How did the outcome um, end up?
I could have handled it better because I know we talked a lot about me using other types of things to cool down so I don't yell or argue with him. And it just kind of went right out of my head, and I yelled at him, and it didn't feel good afterwards at all. Still doesn't feel good because I don't like yelling. But yeah, I didn't handle it all that great.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's one thing, I want to commend you on acknowledging that and acknowledging that we have been practicing these things and um, it's okay that you don't automatically go to those mindfulness moments. And I know that you're trying to cut down on the yelling, but we all have those slip ups and it's going to happen. But being aware of that is really commendable because that's kind of the first step, being aware of it to be able to kind of target it and work on those things to minimize it.
I appreciate that. Thanks. I didn't feel good in the moment, but I mean, yeah, I guess I did kind of figure it out. And then I went for a walk after I yelled at him. So, I mean, it's better late than never. So it didn't
Okay.
like continue to get bad. So, yeah,
Okay.
thanks. I guess I didn't really think of it like that.
Yeah, and you used the walking. I mean, although it wasn't immediate, you definitely used it. And how did that work for you afterwards? How were you feeling afterwards?
I mean, it actually worked really well. I mean, I walked around the block a couple of times, maybe about 10 or 15 minutes, and I was able to kind of clear my head. I calmed down a little bit, realized that he's going through a lot of stress dealing with this stuff too. And I've met his English teacher. She's a piece of work.
Hmm.
But I was able to come back and kind of talk to him about how does you getting an F in her class do anything but show her that you're not smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's smart. So you showing her that you're not smart, it validates her. It doesn't show anything good about you.
Right. Right.
And I wouldn't have been able to think that clearly if I hadn't gone for a walk and kind of calmed down. So yeah, it did help.
Awesome. Awesome. So that really, really worked for you, and I'm happy to hear that you're using those skills. So it sounds like at the end you guys were able to kind of come together and have a conversation, a peaceful conversation about it and come to some sort of resolution.
Peaceful is a big word. I'll say it was copacetic.
Okay, fair enough. Fair
But for
enough.
a teenager, I'll take copacetic all day and twice on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and he's lucky to have you and a father that's able to kind of calm down, and I'm sure he sees those skills that you're using too, while you're working your own things.
Yeah, I hope so. Because yeah, no, it was beneficial, and I'm glad you showed me those things.
Yeah. Um, Great. Thank you for sharing that. Has there been any moments that you've used that at work? Because I know the last few times we've talked, a lot of these situations have kind of stemmed from work. How has the work environment been for you?
Work's been about the same. I think the anger from work is why I was so upset with him because of his grades. I mean, yeah, he was wrong. His grades are bad. That's not a good thing. But I think I was still a little frustrated with what's going on at work, and I think I might have carried it over with me, and that's not his fault. That's on me.
Okay. Okay. Has there been anything in particular that's happened?
Another guy got promoted over me again, even though I've been there longer and I have a better work record. And it's because, well, I think it's because I don't exactly get along with my direct supervisor.
Okay. Okay. And that's someone that you've had continuous kind of um, a struggle with.
Yeah, 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 that's fair. Struggles.
Okay. Have you been employing those skills at work at all?
I tried to, but it's a little bit more difficult at work because it's pretty, I mean, even though it's COVID and everything, we still have to be pretty close proximity and it's kind of go, go, go all the time. So
Okay.
it's hard to kind of take a minute and just kind of gather your thoughts. So I tried like on my break and my lunches, I try to, like I do that, the deep breathing stuff, which has been cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the moment while you're going and going and going and people butt heads, it doesn't always, I don't always have time to kind of think back and grab and stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so there's something that I wanted to kind of go over with you. There's a worksheet that, it's very simple, and it's something that you can kind of just visualize in your head once you see it. And I'll email it to you afterward, but I'll just kind of go over it briefly with you, because in those moments, it's understandable. You don't have time to, stop. Okay, I need to do this. It's kind of go, 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 fast pace for you. So this is just kind of a diagram that kind of elicits what you may be going through in that particular moment. And I know you've mentioned before that visuals are helpful for you. So
Yeah.
I thought this might be, kind of a cool thing for you and useful. So overall, we go through situations that kind of elicit these emotions, these feelings, these behaviors in us. And I would like for you to work on kind of identifying certain situations um, that kind of make you feel those feelings and get angry and start to yell. So that way you can kind of identify it earlier and not maybe get to the point of where you're yelling or taking it home and kind of letting it out on your son or your
Okay.
family. How does that sound?
No, that sounds
Yeah.
fantastic.
So yeah, yeah, it's definitely helpful. So there's four components in a situation, right? Something generally happens, and they're all intermingled. It can happen all at one time. It's not in one particular loop. They're all intermingled. So we have some thoughts, right, that happen. So I want you to think about a situation that has happened at work, maybe, getting the promotion. So the situation happens. You have some thoughts, you have some emotions that's going on regarding that. You're starting to feel bodily sensations. Maybe you're getting flushed in your face or your hands are getting sweaty, a little fidgety, and then you also have your behavior. How are you reacting to this situation? For you, I know sometimes you've shared that you start to yell or outwardly, talk to people, maybe at a higher level. So, think about that particular situation. And I want you to kind of jot down whenever you have time or think about things maybe afterward and think how they are kind of connected. Did one happen more, or did you notice something happened more so than the other, or whichever way, or are you feeling different body sensations? So maybe in the future, when you start feeling those things, you kind of understand and oh, I know where this is going, you know?
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so I will be sending this to you and uh, you can look at it and it's really simple. Again, there's just those four components in it. But the more that you can kind of document it or, just take a minute after work, after your shift, if you want to sit in your vehicle and just kind of think about if there's a situation that happened, kind of think about those things that happened to you and the more you can kind of look back and say, oh, this happened, a few weeks ago and I was feeling this. Maybe this is kind of a trigger for me, or what can I do to kind of relax and kind of tie in those skills that we talked about. I know you mentioned that you've been using the deep breathing things, but there was also other ones on the list as, writing down and journaling, and you took a walk, which is awesome, but I know you don't always have the opportunity to do
Yeah.
that. Um, maybe taking a moment to listen to music to kind of cool down, gather your composure, and go from there.
No, that sounds really doable. When I get that worksheet, I'll take a look at it. And yeah, no, that
Okay.
sounds like something I can definitely do.
Okay. Yeah. So a little bit of homework for you, but
Okay.
it's definitely beneficial. So, no pressure, but, if you want to really work on it and improve it, um, I, we can talk about it next week and see any progress that you've made.
No, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Okay. So do you have any questions? That kind of sums up our appointment for today.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. This has been really helpful so far, and it seems like it's going to keep me that way. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, as always, Rich, it's always a pleasure speaking with you. So look forward to our next appointment.
All right. Bye.